Why should they be allowed to use my pipes? This quote by former CEO of AT&T, Ed Woodacre, states that he objects to internet-based upstarts like Google that are supposedly using their broadband network for free. But what he leaves out of this is the most important part, that we, as the customer of broadband, are paying to use those pipes. And corporations like AT&T are most interested in what we use on the internet for their financial gain. This is the issue of network neutrality, that all content and all services on the internet must be treated the same. Implemented to the public in 1990, the internet and World Wide Web have been the source of information technology of the 21st century. At its core, it is merely a big, global, decentralized network of computers. It was meant to be neutral. Internet service providers, or ISPs, such as Comcast and Verizon, already charge consumers to use their internet carrier services for a broadband network, bringing the internet to your home. This is generally a one-price option that entitles every person to the same speeds, essentially a neutral networking architecture. Very recent legislation and new policies, however, could push ISPs and influential companies to implement a new system that differentiates everything from connection speeds from person to person, called a tiered network, to bandwidth priority for high-level websites, which could potentially lead to discrimination of favoring a website to make it run faster than another. Does this seem like a problem to you? The blatant favoring of priority clients and websites that can afford it over everyone else? Does this withhold the internet's original purpose of a free and open network? Frankly, what is stated above is the result without network neutrality, and there's nothing written in U.S. law that forbids ISPs from this practice. Thus, I present to you the contention that because it withholds the purpose of the internet, forbids a widespread tiered network, and provides innovation and competition, a network neutrality law should be passed in the U.S. By definition, net neutrality is the principle proposed that requires no restrictions by ISPs and governments on content and method of connection on the internet. When you connect to the internet, every website provided runs at the same speed relative to where in the world it is hosted. You have the right to view any web page available in the world, watch online video, use voice-over IP services like Skype, etc., without additional fees by your ISP. Because they manage the links that send data to your computer from global web servers, they have expressed interest in dividing up these connections, becoming their own gatekeepers, and deciding which websites run fast or slow. They advocate a tiered internet, the creation of a special express lane for their own touted services or corporations that can pay up the fees, leaving other baseline users with slower speeds than ever. They would also discriminate current popular internet services such as Google Search, YouTube, Skype, email, or even Facebook with their own approved services, operating in the fast lanes, further leeching money from consumers. All of this has been desired by the ISPs, or ideas like a pay-for-performance marketplace, or web apps sharing the cost of bandwidth are tossed around. In recent context, the most influential voice in the U.S. supporting net neutrality is the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, the federal agency that deals with regulation of communication and media. Starting from 2005, they have first adopted 4 guidelines that everyone is entitled to any lawful content, application, device, or provider. In 2009 to 2010, they went farther as to fully impose net neutrality on ISPs that had blocked users' access. The scene now turns to 2011, as an anti-discriminatory law proposed by the FCC is being deflected by House Republicans 2 weeks ago, producing their own bill that wants to strip the agency of all its powers of any regulation over companies. The bill is currently pending in the Senate. First of all, my proposition is supported with the contention that net neutrality upholds the original right to a free and open internet, protecting the best interests of the consumer. According to a blog on the grassroots coalition Save the Internet, the recent, quote, resolution of disapproval legislated by the Republicans that assumes all powers of speech online to the ISPs makes a world where these companies are allowed to do anything they want, ban any speech they don't like, charge anything they can get away with, hold commerce hostage to their profit margins. Also, in a blog post by inventor of the World Wide Web, Tim Berners-Lee, interpreting his view on net neutrality, he stated that, quote, "If I paid to connect to the internet with a certain quality of service, and you paid to connect to the net with that or greater quality of service, then we can communicate at that level." He then explicitly states that it was only recently that the status quo of a neutral network was contested, admitting the need for regulation of, quote, "basic values." As democracy is based on freedom of speech, neutrality is based on freedom of connection. Congress has the final say in choosing long-term values or short-term corporate goals. Secondly, network neutrality opposes the ISP discrimination of network access/bandwidth available for priority-level clients, called a tiered network. Save the Internet describes tiered networking as where everyone from small businesses to media sharing to online banking and health services loses out to the fast lanes, thereby reducing freedom of digital voice. What is also known is the end-to-end principle of the original Internet Protocol, described by Lawrence Lessig and Robert W. McChesney as, quote, "All of the intelligence and control is held by producers and users, not the networks that connect them." This is described on the neutrality supporting webpage Dynamic Standards Platform Project. It basically says that having an ISP control the transport data layer to connect, and then also relying on their own application services layer, e.g. a Verizon search engine over Google's, blurs these two layers together, even if they were meant to stay separate from the beginning. This will start the decline of these well-known standards and usage that are the true guidelines of the Internet. To summarize, making priority leveling is a bit like cable TV and their channel packages. Would you want ISP packaging your websites? The final point we should consider is that network neutrality promotes innovation and competition. In Lessig and McChesney's article, it is seen that, quote, "network neutrality protections minimize control by the network owner, maximize competition, and invited outsiders in to innovate. Net neutrality guaranteed a free and competitive market. The benefits are extraordinary and undeniable." In an article in Slate magazine by Tim Wu, the man who first coined the net neutrality term, he envisions, quote, "a market where innovation rules to one where deal-making rules, if there is no neutrality." Moreover, he presents a rebuttal that companies would rather support neutrality because, say, if Comcast favored Bing over Google and put Bing on the fast lane, the cost of losing clients over discrepancy is greater than what they could gain. Yet they say the opposite. Again, all of this has been theorized by the ISPs for some time now. Thus, the easiest plan to defend network neutrality is to defend the FCC and put down all opposition to their net neutrality, against net neutrality, including the Republican-backed resolution of disapproval. To do this, we can easily support Save the Internet at SaveTheInternet.com and create a 2 million strong petition to tell 51 senators and the FCC to represent in Congress. Additionally, another option is to directly contact our senators to support neutrality, as Senator Al Franken of Minnesota has already supported. In conclusion, network neutrality must be upheld in the U.S. because it protects an open internet, restricts discrimination of services, and promotes innovation. Thus, I advise writing to your fellow congressperson and the FCC to support neutrality, or go visit Save the Internet today. Stop letting internet providers make the web running like cable TV. Rather, let us summon the millions of end users to rise up, defend their fundamental rights, and be liberated from the struggle against the corporate machine.